the small imprint of David's mouth under the cotton, suck in and out like a waning heartbeat. He watched his legs kick and his Thunderbird slippers squeak against the woodblock floor, desperately trying to find purchase. He watched his brother's futile fight for life as the metal curtain rings scraped backwards and forwards against the heavy brass pole with each turbulent quake of David's body. Swish, swish. He watched and waited until there was silence. Daniel tilted his head in a moment of feigned sympathy for his brother, then flung back his cape, jutted out his chin, and took a bow to his audience of lit pumpkins and black paper bats. An excited fire now burned within him. And just like a season, he had awakened. In the blink of an eye, autumn had become his most favourite season of all. Strange children should smile at each other and say, "Let's play." F. Scott Fitzgerald, Tender is the Night. Moves like Jagger. Present day. Prunella Pearce turned the Victorian open sign to face out onto Winterbottom High Street, happy to announce to those that cared to venture into her little village library the welcome she felt they deserved. She reverently wiped the dust jacket of Anne Cleeve's new edition. All her books in the converted shop that served the close-knit community deserved her respect. But she did have just that little extra admiration for Vera and her detective skills. She was a woman after her own heart, intrigued by murder, mystery, and a bit of mayhem thrown in for good measure. Winterbottom had certainly seen its fair share of those in its time. Prue's recent foray into several grisly murders, committed by one of their own no less, had given her the inspiration to set up a part-time detective agency, together with her best friend, Bree Richards. They were both currently enjoying the remnants of their youth, before hurtling towards midlife. She, having recently said hello to her 40s, whilst Bree was still clinging on for dear life to her 30s at the grand age of 39 years, 4 months and 16 days. They'd agreed that it was now or never to turn their hands to something a bit different, something that would bring a smidgen of excitement to their lives. It hadn't quite got off the ground yet, but they had gone as far as throwing around a few business names, which, by Prue's calculation, would be, she checked her watch, finalised over several gin and tonics in the Dog and Gun later this evening. "Cup of tea, Albert?" she said, as she swept past the elderly gentleman who was engrossed in the latest edition of the Winterbottom News, gently patting him on the shoulder as she made her way to the kettle and tea bags in the corner of the shop. Her little coffee break corner was squeezed in between the shelves that held the colourful spines of books from P to T and U to Z.
"Oh, that'd be lovely, thank you, Prue."
Albert neatly folded the newspaper and placed it on the worn mahogany desk in front of him, the soft light from the reading lamp casting a glow that made his smile even more endearing.
"Mrs. Titherington was all of a twitter this morning. I had to sneak out before I could partake of my cup of Earl Grey."
He added a small harumph to the end of his sentence to show his disappointment. Prue smiled to herself. Ethel Titherington, stalwart member of the Winterbottom Women's Institute, of which Prue was their current president, was renowned for her excitable nature and occasional sharp tongue. Very few members took offence to her gossip, because more often than not it was touched with observational wit, risque humour, and very gentle sarcasm. The timing of her legendary one-liners was a joy to behold. "Oh dear, what on earth has got poor Ethel into a pickle this time?" She carefully poured the boiling water onto the tea bags and watched them bob up and down in the pot before giving them a vigorous stir with a teaspoon.
"Holidays,"